It was supposed to be another routine evening at the tiny Midtown bank branch where Margot Lane had worked for over 2 decades. 52, divorced, and quiet, she lived a modest life in a walk-up apartment in Queens and found comfort in the repetition of numbers and signatures. But on this wet Wednesday night, something unusual disrupted the order she knew so well. Margot was tallying the final drawer when she noticed it wedged between the counters, nearly overlooked, a worn, $1 bill. It was old. The kind of old you'd expect to find in a collector's catalog, not in the petty cash of a city branch. Its edges were frayed, the paper soft, and across George Washington's face was a faded red X, hand-marked, almost childlike. She slipped it into her coat pocket without much thought, maybe curiosity, maybe habit. Then, the phone rang. Strange. The phones weren't supposed to ring after the system shut down. Margot hesitated, then picked up. Static. Then a distant hum. And then, 3 slow words whispered through the buzz. "He's not dead." She froze. She hadn't spoken to anyone about Henry in years. Her younger brother, her only sibling, had vanished in 2003 under mysterious circumstances after allegedly blowing the whistle on a Wall Street firm. Everyone believed he drowned off the pier in Brooklyn. Everyone but her. The call ended. She stared at the dollar bill again, noticing, for the first time, something shimmering when she held it up to the light. Minuscule handwriting woven into the grain of the paper. It read, "He never jumped. Find the rest." Her hands trembled. The next morning, Margot arrived early and accessed the branch's historical transaction logs. She needed to see if anything about that dollar showed up. Nothing did. No deposits, no withdrawals, no reasons for the bill to have surfaced. But as she scanned the audit trail, a bizarre entry made her stop breathing. At 3:17 a.m., a transaction had been recorded. $1. Withdrawal. Terminal number 04, the one at her desk. But the bank closed at 6 p.m. There was no after-hours access. No override. It should have been impossible. She tried to dismiss it as a glitch, but her curiosity spiraled. She reached out to a friend who worked in Treasury archives. After a long pause, he sent her back an image from a 2002 case file, the same dollar bill, red X and all, listed as evidence in a sealed investigation. When she asked what case, he replied in a whisper, Operation Potomac Dust. It's still classified. Margot looked again at the bill that she had now placed in a clear Ziploc. This wasn't just $1. It was a breadcrumb. Margot spent her lunch break digging through financial crime forums and obscure Reddit threads. Hidden in the underbelly of the internet was a name that kept popping up, the Red X Society. A rumored underground network of rogue economists, whistleblowers, and ex-spooks who encoded confessions and warnings on circulated currency. Her heart pounded. If Henry had joined them, or exposed them, could this dollar be a part of something larger? She pulled the bill from her bag and placed it under a UV light she borrowed from the branch's counterfeit scanner. New words glowed faintly. Not dead. Misled. Potomac holds the rest. Potomac. The name matched the classified operation. She called her contact again. Margot, he said in a whisper, you didn't hear it from me, but Potomac Dust was never about drugs or money laundering. It was about erasing people. Financially. Digitally. Legally. He sent her a leaked memo. It referenced $3 bills. All marked with a red X. All connected to whistleblowers who vanished. She only had one. The twist. The memo was signed off by the last person Henry worked for, Senator Lowell Caulfield, now running for president. Margot dug deeper into Caulfield's past. Buried beneath years of campaign contributions and charity work, she found a quiet scandal, a failed bank merger in Maryland. One of the dissolved branches had been in Alexandria, off the Potomac. She drove down that weekend. The building was now abandoned, its windows boarded, but the vault door remained intact. Graffiti covered the walls, but one thing stood out, a red X on the vault. Inside, everything was covered in dust except a small safe deposit drawer left open. Inside it, another dollar bill. Red X. A different year, 2003. Taped to it was a photo. A surveillance shot of Henry, alive, dated just 4 months ago. Scrawled on the back of the photo, "Number 3 is near. It's yours now." Back in New York, Margot tore through Henry's old belongings, locked away in boxes in her attic. She found a ledger. No numbers, just names. Most were crossed out. A few were circled in red ink. Her own name was circled. So was Caulfield's. At the bottom of the final page, 3 bills. 3 fates. Only one redemption. Margot opened her freezer. In a plastic bag tucked behind a box of frozen peas was the 3rd bill. She had no idea how it got there. When she held it under UV light, a sentence ran across it in ghostly ink. "They erased me. But they can't erase you. Blow the whistle." The next morning, Margot delivered the bills to a journalist at the New York Times. That night, her phone rang. This time, the voice was calm. Familiar. "Thank you, sis. You did it." Then silence.